Hello and welcome to my channel, to my video today. I have been thinking a lot about yoga practice lately, and I just wanted to kind of bring forth some of my thoughts that I have been having. So if you are in the yoga practitioner community, you may be feeling some of these things right along with me, kind of questioning some things and just really seeing some truth come through the current situation that we're all in. I want to first say that I am, really disappointed with the direction that the whole situations that we're in right now, like the devastating situations that yoga studios are really suffering. And I hate to see that, because I do support the idea of having a like-minded place and community for people to gather and experience, grow, all those great things, try new things, do something that scares you in a safe, comfortable environment. I do love that. And I think right now that a lot of us, all of us are suffering due to the current situation. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is just to bring out my thought process prior to my opinions. One of the scariest things that I ever had to do. I have practiced yoga for almost, I would say, about 20 years now. It's been a huge part of my life. That's not bragging in any way. I love yoga. I love to share it with people. I love to talk about it. I love to be involved in it. So it's just been a huge part of my life for a long time. A little background there. I suffered from chronic back pain, and we're talking like 10, 12 years old. I had been through lots of testing, lots of diagnosis, and all this kind of stuff. And, of course, the number one suggestion was stretching, exercise and stretch, mild exercises and stretches, just to maintain and really contain the pain that I was experiencing. And my mother had been she was one of those people that bought like every exercise DVD known to man, every program, all that kind of stuff. And so she had a very large collection of various different types of workout videos. And she had one that was like a 10-minute yoga solution, I want to say, something to that effect. But it was a very short, try this out. And I loved it. I started doing it every day, and I saw huge results. The only time I had had decreased back pain is when I was consistent with doing this yoga video. And as time went on, I, acquired other DVDs and, experiences and whatnot. And I want to say Rodney Yee was one of the first practitioners of yoga that I was exposed to. I think he did a series called AM Yoga. And there was another lady, I want to say her name was Suzanne, but I can't remember her name right at the moment. But she did the PM portion. But I just love that morning flow, or that morning practice. And I think it was Hatha Yoga that he taught. And I just fell in love with it. I did it all the time, and it was on a VHS. So, I had to find like some old VHS player and whatnot. And it just became a part of my life. And then, of course, I branched off into my own independent studies and discovering and learning more. So I love yoga. I've practiced it for a long time. But one of the scariest things after becoming a yoga teacher and really being involved in the community for a while, I was at a photo shoot for a studio that I worked at. We wanted to get kind of some materials to put on the website and all this kind of stuff. And the studio owner said, all right, you guys all go upstairs in the studio and, just get warmed up, start doing, whatever you do to warm up for yoga. And there's all of us professionals there. I think there was like maybe 6 of us, 7 of us, 8 of us, something like that. And I was like, oh my God, I just have to do my own thing, while everyone else is doing their own thing. And it was like an ego-based thing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm good enough to be here or do this, And so I had to overcome that. And the photo shoot was all based off of, what do you want to project? What is it that you're going to do that makes you feel, lit up from the inside out. Like those are the pictures that we're looking for. And it was just so scary, but so much fun. And I grew so much in that moment. I don't even know if anyone else there was feeling the same way, if they were used to it, like what it was. But that really projected me into a different realm of understanding the practice of yoga. So, it was one of those things where you're like, exit ego, side door, because this is what we're doing. This is real. This is authentic, and it was just so inspiring and so great. Like I said, there is a huge importance in that like-minded community, but really being pushed further than what you normally would allow yourself to be pushed and things like that are another great piece of being at a yoga studio and taking public yoga classes or even private instructional classes. But we lost the importance of personal practice somehow. And I don't want to blame that on, the Americanized version of yoga or anything like that, because I know there's a lot of authentic yogis and yoginis out there. But we lost the importance of personal practice, that space where you get quiet and you feel into your body and you hear your body and you allow your body to move and flow according to what it needs and not what someone's telling you. The flow that I'm talking about is the pose choice or the posture choice that you subconsciously know the place you're going next, but not before you get there. So I'll repeat that. You know the place that you're going next, but not before you get there. And a lot of times in yoga practice, in public yoga practice, I feel like you're waiting for the instructor to tell you the next thing to do. And then you just hurry up and get there. There's not a good space and process there of where your body is like, okay, inhale, exhale, breathe or move with your breath, breathe with this space. It's just like, okay, I made it to this point. Where do I go next? And so that flow and posture choice that comes from within is so powerful and so important. And your breath is your only direction. The only directive is your breath. And so a lot of times you'll hear things like inhale, reach your hands, exhale, forward fold. But sometimes whenever you move in your own space, you inhale and hold, and you exhale and hold, and you inhale, and now you're ready for your next movement with your exhale. But sometimes you're not. And sometimes you just stay there. Maybe it's arms up, arms to the side, forward fold, down dog, and you just find these places and you're like, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to breathe here for a moment. And I feel like we lose that sometimes in that public setting. Silence is all around you. Whenever you commit to your own personal yoga practice in this sacred space, silence surrounds you. Stillness surrounds you. It's so quiet. Your brain is quiet. Your body is quiet. Your space is quiet. The energy comes down to a soothing, flowing notion. It's just very much so different. And it's expansive and wonderful and challenging and just like a really great thing to experience if you've never experienced that before. Reaching the healing state that we are trying to achieve with our yoga practice, to put ourselves into that relaxed mode, our parasympathetic mode, that healing state is much easier to reach whenever you can quiet the ego, you can quiet the mind. You don't have those wandering eyes and those wandering thoughts of like, oh, look at her, look at that guy, what are they doing? Am I doing this right? It's not like that. Your personal practice is very much so focused internally, and you listen and you heal much quicker. The focus is increased in general. So your focus is very sharp whenever you don't have these distractions of other people and their breath and their sounds and their noises and all of these things. And your body awareness is just on point. You can feel whenever your toes are slightly tilted the wrong way, or maybe your foot's not perfectly flat on the floor. you can feel that immediately because you're not trying to also divide your attention to a person talking and the music in the background and the sound outside of the studio and a person that just fell over, or somebody's laughing because, you know, someone passed gas, or like whatever it might be. You know, I'm not saying that these environments again are bad. It's just that we have lost the importance of personal yoga practice. Every aspect of it, how you live your life on and off the mat, but meeting yourself on your mat without directive, without directions, without an itinerary, without an achievement list, without a goal orientation, just you, your breath, your mat, your movement. However that is to you. I'm not saying that a mat is required. You can be on the earth, on the ground, on the grass, on the sand, in the water, whatever it is, but just you, your process, your breath, your experience. So I made this video to encourage all the yogis out there, please, in this time and space, we're obligated to really sink into our own practice. Don't focus so much on what you cannot have right now, gripping, grasping, and holding on to those expectations, and shift your attention to your own personal practice and see where maybe you have abandoned, where you have forgotten the point and purpose of yoga, and not just the how many classes did you make it to, how many hours were you in the studio, whatever challenges that we've all been a part of, and really come back to that authentic practice. Find it within yourself, be you, and find you in that space of practice with your yoga. I hope this was helpful and informational, and I'm so glad that I could share this with you. I have really been struggling with this lately, just working my way through the thoughts, and I thought that I would share them with you. So get out there and practice some yoga. Get silent, get still, create that healing presence within your own practice, within your own body, within your own mind. And I will see you in the next video.